So, congratulations, Professor, on assuming the directorship of Mathematical Sciences Institute. So, uh, what are your plans?
Good morning, Raman. Thank you very much. Well, this was very much on the cards. Way back in the year 2003, we started in a small way, an institute or a place for the people, especially youngsters, who can come together and then talk about the excitement in mathematics. As you know, that this is a game that would encourage only the creative brains. But unfortunately, the situations seem to be quite different. Well, those are some of the factors, that made me to think about and then start a kind of institute like this. And for mathematics, you don't require much paraphernalia. Just like that, you can think of doing it. And that's how the idea came up. And I'm very happy that we have been doing, if not exceedingly well, but people have appreciated. We have tried to create some dent, and now we are picking. I hope the people, institutions, and then especially the parents, the young children, who take advantage of this movement. Yeah, in that sense, okay, I'm happy.
Yeah, you visited the United States in 2000s. What influence of that came upon to you?
Yeah, that was actually the turning point in my life. See, the year 2000 was a very big event. American Mathematical Society organized what is called as a very big meeting called Mathematical Challenges of 21st Century. Felix Browder was the president of American Mathematical Society, and around 700 to 800 delegates from all over the world had come, and I was fortunate to be a participant over there. In fact, I presented my paper also in one of the sessions on number theory and algebraic geometry. Well, there I met many celebrities, so which otherwise we knew through their writings, like Serge Lang, and many Fields medals. More than a dozen Fields medalists were there as plenary speakers in that big gathering at the University of California, Los Angeles. Well, okay, that also gave me an opportunity to visit a mathematical sciences research institute in Berkeley. And that was a very interesting experience for me, where I could again meet leading number theorists in the workshop organized by Joe Buhler, who was the deputy director of the institute. At that time, it was David Eisenberg was the director for that school, which was initiated by CERN himself, who was a great geometer and was in Berkeley. That's how, and that also gave me a lot of, confidence in me that mathematics didn't just be started like that. American Institute of Mathematics in California, in San Francisco, is just an outfit of some electronics shop. The guy who was a mathematician by himself, interested in giving some kind of place for people who can come and then have a coffee time and at the same time do some interesting things of their own. Yeah, mathematics, like any art or music, is something like that. So we need to look into.
So, how has been your experience in popularizing mathematics at your place, at your university, or whatever?
Well, okay, that I was a part of the state university system, and Karnataka University was fairly a good department when compared to the rest of the things, because in Indian context, research means something. It is a mono-faculty kind of research in most of the places. That's one thing. And it is all incremental, in the sense the students or people come to do research only to earn PhDs. Some would stay with that, and the rest of the people just be happy with the degree and then go back. Even today, it is the same trend, but I think we must reverse this. In that aspect, I would blame to some extent. We are also responsible, and also the system and then policymakers should look at these things. It should be encouraged as a passionate intellectual exercise. Maybe the degree that they would earn should come gradually. Of course, that is there. Now, putting the cart before the horse is not a good trend.
So you seem to have invited some big names in mathematics to your department. Could you speak a bit about that?
Yeah, I was very fortunate in that sense. See, actually what happened, soon after my master's, I got a fellowship to do my research. It was an UGC fellowship. It was very handsome in those days, 600 rupees per month, and annual book grant of rupees 3,000 rupees. Book allowance was given to the students. So I was holding a UGC fellowship that time, and I had registered for my PhD under Professor Amur, a renowned geometer in the Department of Mathematics at Karnataka University, Dharwad. This was in the year 1980, what I'm talking to you about that. Okay. Well, later on, what happened, gradually, for some reasons, I had to discontinue because Amur left to US. There was a gap of more than 1 year between him and me. And the problems that I was working on in those days was Riemannian immersions in differential geometry. I was a differential geometer. Then I was given an assignment. In those days, it was called as a temporary lecturer. Though it was a temporary by nature, we discharged to the fullest extent in taking the teaching load of the postgraduate department of mathematics, which was established very recently. This was around 1983. And, and since then I never looked back. So I was fortunate enough to lead the department, and then I came across many distinguished mathematicians. I was keeping in contact with them too, and I invited them to my department. Most of them have visited my department. See, my stint in the Department of Mathematics was for more than 3 decades, almost 37 years of teaching in the postgraduate department. I saw great people. So first time when I met Professor Atreya, KB Atreya, it seems that he was a regular visitor to India. That was in Dharwad. So he was just, when I invited him, these people are very unassuming. And they came, and then they addressed our students, interacted with faculty, and that bond even today it lasts. Again, Ravi Kulkarni, he is presently who is in Bhaskaracharya Pratishthan, is a renowned geometer. I had heard about him. I had never seen him. It seems in those days, there were not many institutes. I remember Harishchandra Research Institute, now what they taught, was earlier Mehta Research Institute at Allahabad. Later on, it went on to become HRI. And then Math Science was there in Madras. But in Karnataka, if you take it, Karnataka as an example, to my knowledge, there is nothing, there is no institute like the one that I coined in the year 2003. That is Mathematical Sciences Institute. And now, under this banner and in the postgraduate department of mathematics, the cloud that I had with the university system helped me to attract these people in organizing lots of conferences, workshops, meetings. And even now, we are vibrant with those activities, and I'm happy. The kind of dent we created, it will also help me to build our own things in the future. And I'm now, after assuming the office, say after superannuation on December 2019, I stepped into this assignment, and it's a great responsibility on my part. Let me see how I can work on. We have some initiatives. I will be able to unfold those things in my talk.
Yeah. So I will now go back a little bit into a flashback. So in your initial days, growing up in school or college, what kind of motivations you had for mathematics?
Okay, yeah, this is a very very tricky question. See, I hail from a hometown called Hospet. There is a Tungabhadra Dam, Hampi. It's a historically known place. And where I grew up, early schooling was happened in and around the schools in that part of Karnataka. Well, and then it was a fun like thing, going to school, and then it was not a big. I was not very passionate about all those things, so I detest. I hated going to school. So in fact, one of my student friend in those days used to come to my house regularly, pull me up from my bed. That's how I used to go to school. Those were the days. And then after my schooling, then we had an excellent college called Vijayanagara College. Teachers were good, and we know nobody did enthuse us. It was just a routine kind of formal kind of going to school and college. Then I had no idea why I did mathematics. For one reason, I can tell you that mathematics didn't had other things like, if you do physics or chemistry or biology, you'll have to do practicals. So I was a bit lazy about that, and I was not very good at mathematics, nor I was very bad at it. Okay? I liked it because I was very passionate about music. So that was one reason that made me to choose mathematics.
Okay,
so
okay.
That's how I did. It is a very nice system in those days. Karnataka, it was coming under Karnataka University. We had major minor streams at the undergrad level. That consolidated our to pointed approach towards specializing in mathematics.
A little bit more nudging. I would like to see if there are some names you can take from your college days who encouraged you doing mathematics.
Yeah, we had. I was telling our teachers were excellent. We had one professor, Guru Baswaraj. He is no more now. He was an excellent teacher. Likewise, we had other teachers too in mathematics. Professor Salakimat, they are there very much. Professor Ramchandrappa. So, and then physics professors, English teachers. So you name any subject, and then those teachers were very honest, and we were very modest in our approach too. We were very sincere in attending even language classes, and then because we had our own limitations. So in those days, though we were very much economic factors is another thing, and then beyond graduation, there was no hope for any student to continue their education. In our hometown, excepting our college, there was not even a training college for education was there. And therefore, abruptly after graduation, our education used to come to an end. Unless somebody had an idea to go beyond that, which it was not there in my mind, at least till then. That's how I never planned.
People those days, I hear that they usually used to aim at AS, IPS or UPSC exams.
That was not there in our place. That fact I could see only in Dharwad when I came over here. First time I heard about KPSC, all these exams. So in Hospate, it was absolutely no. Some people were interested in doing chartered accountancy. One of my friend, after BSc majoring physics, he went into CA. And in the first attempt, he cleared CA. He's a chartered accountant, worked for some firm in Bangalore. That I know. But certainly, it never interested me, these public service exams and all those things. And then luckily, when I thought that I got a loan from a bank, a local bank, a nationalized bank, and then that supported me. And since then, I never looked back. When I came to Dharwad, suddenly there was a transformation, cultural changes, the language, the food habits. Say, I'm a typical South Indian, where, rice eaters, and Dharwad was quite contrast.
Okay. Now, do you see some difference in present day scenario and then the kind of advancements and career advice that you get in those days and now?
Computers is one big difference that has crept into our education system. See, there was we never saw computers. And computers, for mathematics at least, I felt always that computers maybe computer wanted mathematics, but certainly mathematics not. The Department of Mathematics in Dharwad never had a computer science. Even a small diploma course was run in our department, because I'm attached to my department at Dharwad since 1978 as a student till 2010, when we got separated from parent university and became independent university at Belgaum. So, and a diploma was started. Then Professor Sampath Kumar, former chairman that time, during his days, he thought of having a computers, because people started asking applications of mathematics, jobs. That was a big thing for them. Next to engineering, MSc, computer science. And then everybody craved for that. And so, and now things have changed a lot. But what I'm trying to see nowadays is that we must understand a lot of mathematics is required for engineering. And therefore, engineering people should come to mathematics. Lot of mathematics is required for computer science. The computer science people and application side, they must gravitate towards this knowledge. But unfortunately, it has become non-competitive. From mathematics, we are going into computers. That's good. But those people should come here. They must sit with math guys. They should understand. See, they will understand algorithms better if they do a very good course in competitive algebras, geometry of abstract nature, Lie groups and all those things. But the things are going to be very different. It was not simple programming a language, then COBOL, Fortran, all those. It's a different ball game altogether. Lot of mathematics has gone into computational complexity, theories and all those things. Then P versus NP problem. It requires new kinds of mathematics to understand the very basic nature of these problems. I think
to take this a little forward, what are your short-term and long-term goals in MSIB?
Yeah.
With regard to this kind of thing.
Well, okay. And now, as you know, that we have almost more than 15 years now since its inception. It was in the year 2003, if I remember very well. You were also there very much when it was inaugurated in the Postgraduate Department of Mathematics of Rani Chennamma University. Then it was an outfit of Karnataka University, Dharwad. So the idea was, it was David Hilbert's birthday, I think, February 23rd, somewhere around that it comes to. I remember that this one, January, I think. And now, what we thought was that one advantage with mathematics was that it didn't require a kind of investments. The only few people could come together and discuss mathematics with chalk and talk, and that would happen. That happened with our institute as well. And because I was attached to the Department of Mathematics, and the university also encouraged me a lot, and the institutions in particular in Belgaum, individuals, institutions, colleges, organizations, wherever I went, see, I was a different kind of a person. Whoever visited my department, I used to take them to various colleges. Some people mistook me that I was working for a local college where I was seen more with people over there. And then, this helped me to organize many workshops. See, for example, we initiated, some small workshops for including high school children, because the idea was to enthuse and ignite young minds, because it's an young man's game. So that's how we thought that for high schools we should do some programs. We did some programs for high schools in those days. Then we looked at +2 and then undergrad programs, and then research teams. We have organized big meetings also. Many people have come from different parts of India, including some people from outside too. They have come, and then they have enriched the knowledge of people through these meetings and then workshops. Even now, I have regular visitors on our institute. For example, Ravi Kulkarni is our very good friend. Arvinda, Ravi, Guru Raja from ISER Tirupati. See, many people from Indians of Science, Bengaluru. So, therefore, and then we have plans, unveiled some programs. For example, the history of mathematics lectures. You know, the first inaugural lecture was given by Professor Ravi Kulkarni himself. The idea was to invite people and then give them a theme. And then it was so flexible that if people for some reason or the other couldn't come, we would go there. That's how our first inaugural lecture happened in collaboration with Vista Foundation, Bengaluru, and your Jain Institute in Bengaluru. At your place, Ravi gave 2 lectures. And so that was the inaugural lecture Ravi Kulkarni gave at Bengaluru. The second one was delivered by Professor Dani. You know, very interesting thing about Professor Dani, he hails from Belgaum, which I also didn't know. When I wrote to him that you should visit my department, then he accepted my invitation and said that, Venkatesh, I'm actually from Belgaum. I had my schooling in Belgaum. And he went to a GSS college, a local, a very famous college, where he went, and then from there, he went on to do his higher studies, went to Bombay and all that. Now, you know, Professor Dani, okay, what a great personality. So he delivered second lecture in the series. Professor Rajan very recently last year. So we held such a history of mathematics lecture series. And then we have Vidya Vinayam, YouTube. You must be knowing. I must thank the technical support that I have been receiving from your brother, Padmaraj, who does these things very meticulously. Whether it is a theme, any blurb that we bring out from our institute, Padmaraj is behind that, you know. And so the Vidya Vinayam YouTube lectures we have uploaded now. Then you can see Professor Atreya's talks, Professor Katre has given talk, from people from Indians of Science, Harish Sheshadri has given his lectures. They are all, you know, very well received.
You didn't talk much about the long-term vision that you have for.
See, in mathematics, short-term, long-term is very confusing. Long-term would mean what?
You have just initiated, it seems, Belgavi Mathematics Circle. So.
Yes, this is a very recent thing. We have come up with Belgavi Mathematics Circle, where we want to enlighten. It is between parents, children, and teachers. This is what your brother has designed that one. We'll have to see now how it is going to unfold. So it's very important for the parents to understand. As I was telling you that mathematics, like music and fine art, should be patronized because it is an young man's game, like any art. So at the young age itself, if you develop some passion. Yesterday I was going through some nice expositions of Terry Tao talks about his childhood days, how he got into, how he was interested in mathematics, how his parents used to punish him. So he was a very mischievous boy in the school, it seems that, and parents, whenever he used to tell that, he has written very nicely about. So these things, you know, matter much. Today people talk about Manjul Bhargav. Nobody knew who was Manjul Bhargav, isn't it? So there is no single, even Indian who has won Fields Medal. Indian origin is Manjul Bhargav, otherwise he is not an Indian in true sense of the word. Akshay Venkatesh, Fields Medal. Nobody knew. Everybody knew about Nobel Prizes. So nobody knew about Fields Medal. Nobody knows even today for excitement. See, a lot of excitement is there in mathematics research too. A lot of money is a very lucrative profession. It can also carry as a in the community. You know, they can look at those things. Industry can support them. These things can happen if there is a preparedness on our part. Parents should encourage children. Teachers should come forward. These are all two important pillars, institutions. They must be visionaries. And then children, of course. So if it interests them, and then nothing stops anybody from doing it. And again, you know, as Mikhail Gromov says somewhere, you know, talking about mathematics, you know, investment in mathematics is very minimal. Returns are impressive. So we must understand. So with these things in mind, we are thinking of trying to encourage youngsters to do better in Olympiads. And I was instrumental in getting Madhava contest to Belgaum. I must thank the people. They have given Belgaum as a center. Students are coming every year. This is 3 times we did that. And I'm sure it will pick up. It's a picking up now. So Madhava contests are there. MTTS programs should come. And that's what I was trying to tell. No, the people must take interest. It should be a people movement.
Yeah, so the money being put in mathematics need not be much, is what you say.
Yes.
So, on the same lines, can you talk of some celebrity mathematicians from India who made it big, even though they were from very modest background?
See, ever since when I passionate, when I took up this as my career, I was very closely looking at these places, you know. For example, only very recently we saw that Professor Seshadri passed away. Okay, and now not many knew, even within mathematics circles also, not many knew about Professor Seshadri's contributions, because Professor Seshadri and Narasimhan were like, you know, what was Amitabh Bachchan and Dharmendra in Sholay. For mathematics, these two people, after, you know, inspired by a great father from Layla College, Professor Racine, right?
Yeah, Father Racine.
And then they went to TIF, but TIF picked them up. Both of them became celebrities, and their contributions to algebraic geometry. And then Seshadri went on to establish an institute at Madras. It's called now Chennai Mathematical Institute. That's also a source of inspiration for me to think of Mathematical Sciences Institute at Belgaum.
Yeah, even before that, I think Andre Weil's visit to India kindled interest in people like Anand Rao.
Yes,
and
yes.
others.
That was again when again by Andre Weil visiting India is also by not by choice. It was by chance. So they were looking at some French guy who can come and teach French. And then the vice chancellor of Aligarh Muslim University, I think Masood Hussain or some, then he suggested the French government that somebody suggested, Vijay Raghavan himself, it seems, when he spoke to the vice chancellor of Aligarh Muslim University. But there is one French mathematician, he can visit, no? If not French, a guy to teach French. That's how Andre Weil gets an invitation from President of India. That's how he comes to India, spends about 3 years in Aligarh Muslim University. And later on I was told that he came to Mysore University also. Professor Bhargava was telling me. Andre Weil also visited Mysore University. And then, you know, at the end, when I was reading his autobiography on apprenticeship of a mathematician, there he writes about his experience of Indian universities and departments there. And then a small report also, he submits at the end, a report to the government of India about his impressions and the kind of mathematics that was going on and all that. It was not very really encouraging. That's what Vijay Raghavan tells about that. Then again, you know, he tones down and then says a great land. You know. That's how Andre Weil comes. And now again, TIFR, you know, that's a great experiment say, when India became soon independent. And then the visionaries in those days, you know, established an institute, fundamental research. Then TIFR in Bombay, Indians of Science in Bengaluru, Math Science in Chennai. So that is a real, you know, great revelation. So how we Indian Statistical Institutes. See, Professor Vardhan, twice I went to Courant Institute. I couldn't meet him there, but at UCLA I could listen to his talk, and also in Bangalore, AMS India meet happened. Recently in Banaras Hindu University also, AMS India meet happened. So see, there are so many things, Raman. Therefore, now the communication has become very fast, and the mode of communications and technologies also is encouraging you to do quality work. What I am trying to suggest these people is that the departments of mathematics should do mathematics seriously. They must know what mathematics is. See, for example, algebraic geometry is not taught in any of these departments. At least in Karnataka, I don't see these things happening. Now at the institute, we thought that we should initiate some introductory lectures in algebraic geometry only to enthuse and encourage young students to know the beauty of this subject. How close this subject is to that sublime beauty of mathematics, then rich applications that it has within mathematics and outside the world of mathematics. So we will have to see all those things. So,
any word on interdisciplinary mathematical collaborations?
well, okay, you know, we were started somewhere in 2005 or 2007. I remember we both of us went to Bengaluru when Mrinal Ghosh organized one workshop on financial mathematics, right? Mathematics of finance, quantitative finance. That's one area where, you know, Riemannian geometry methods are employed to stock prices. So diffusion equations, nonlinear PDs. See, when once nonlinear PDs are coming up anywhere, lot of abstract geometry would go into it. And therefore we took up interest in math finance. Now I in fact kind of program towards a master's degree at my department when I was heading the department at Rani Chennamma University. Somehow it didn't pick up. Now we want to look at these interdisciplinary things. We want to see, we want to encourage theoretical computer science, theoretical physics. So these are all, you know, without laboratories, without computers, you can do on par with mathematics, on par with any experimental science to produce the best brains, you know, and which we require. The country needs institutions of excellence. The country requires of this size, who hardly, only not more than 3,000 to 4,000 students, top notch, get into top notch institutions in India. Tell me what will happen when they talk new education policy or what national education policy, whatever you say, from next year onwards. So the floodgates would open. What is the preparedness on our part? Where are those institutions to accommodate hundreds and hundreds of students who are waiting to get into such institutions? When people are mooting some private universities to come up in cities like Belgaum. See, the other day I was asked to attend an informal meeting of few enthusiasts in Belgaum. In fact, we went there, we sat together, we discussed at length what is to be done. Suppose next year, if somebody says that some 2,000 students have to be given admission into most Ivy League kind of programs by the institutions, where are those institutions? Indians of Science, I was told by the present director is a mathematician himself now, Professor Rangarajan. He had come to Belgaum. So in an interview, he was trying to tell for 100 and odd undergrad program seats in Indians of Science, they receive more than 1 lakh applications. You can imagine.
Yeah, so to just go back to some personal questions, how do you, what kind of time and place do you prefer to do mathematics?
Well, as I said, now the best thing that we can do is, because we are connected to internet and all that, so it has become, COVID has forced you to do why only mathematics, anything for that matter, has become a virtual a thing of discharging your duties. Okay, and therefore you will get connected to people of like-minded people who have passion towards doing math as a kind of, you know, that research driven in them kind of thing. I think any place is good enough for me. See, luckily I'm blessed with goodwill, and as I would say, okay, I have housed my institute. See, MSI has a very nice office in the first floor of this building where I'm staying. So it is Yamuna. 63/4 Yamuna Bhagyanagar. First floor, I want to set up my studio. The institute is going to have its studio, and we are going to develop a very good library. See, that is one place. Library is one place where you can spend lots of time. And whoever visits my town, my city, I can assure them that I'm talking about math guys, even theoretical computer science, physics people, all economists, finance, all these people. See, but mathematician and mathematician is like a sannyasi. All right. And so people just go to sannyasi to seek their wisdom and some guidance. No, if these people from economics, from physics, from computer science come to sannyasi, to mathematics, we'll be very happy to entertain them. Over a cup of tea, a nice ambience we want to create, and they can be assured. If Ravi, always I keep talking to him, when are you going to come to Belgaum? He said, okay, Venkatesh, I'll be very happy to come. So he keeps moving even at this age of 78 years. So he keeps moving, goes to Calcutta and lectures, talks to the students, encourages. So there are people. I have very good friends. Professor Sane is a very good friend of mine, who is right now is in Chennai Mathematical Institute. Professor Dani himself is a Belgaumite. So whenever I ask them to come and then talk to the students, and they are very happy. So this is what I want. The community feeling is required, and we want people to appreciate our efforts. And after all, this is a mental exercise of highest intellectual level order. And this knowledge is going to enrich the society and contribute to the economy of the nation.
Yeah.
That is very important.
Lastly, Belgaum is mooting the idea of a private university. So what are your comments?
Yeah, I was telling you, right? Yeah. See, some people, we had first informally we started discussing these things, and then people are serious about it. Okay. Belgaum is blessed with geographically, otherwise nature's bounty is there, well connected. It is cutting 3 states, including Goa and Maharashtra, and it's a much happening place now. It's an educational hub. You can see universities, colleges, giving all sorts of education, science, management, engineering, medicine. So industry-wise, if you say Belgaum Foundry is very well known in castings and all those things. So they want that, why not we think of, this is just to strengthen. See, the country is in need of, that's what they say, institutions of excellence. Then they said, okay, fine, that responsibility is bestowed on me now. We are making a roadmap, we are doing some groundwork, and we thought that it should be named as Bhaskara University. See, nowadays, I don't know how many of us know, Ashoka University has come up in near Delhi in Sonepat. Okay, it is one of the best universities. See, after all, what are universities? See, it's a very simple proposition for a university. Do first-rate research to promote quality teaching among institutions, and then try to give something, which we are very much missing now. So if this private university can do that, that's what they are thinking. Then I suggested the best way to think of an university is start some basic sciences programs and then social sciences, then combine them, because your national education policy is also trying to tell the same thing. The intersection should become non-trivial. Therefore, the gray area there can really do some exciting things, and so that the students who are looking for such an alternative need not think of going out of India. Do you know how much foreign exchange that we lose every year annually to the tune of 10 to 12 billion US dollars? Why US universities are attracting students in that numbers? See, my own example I'm telling you, My son went to US. My second son who completed his engineering, he says, Appa, I don't want to study here. And when he got admission into best US universities, why any child would think twice? So we can't stop them from going, but at least we can make an attempt in creating an alternative at our own doorsteps. If it is going to help some really deserving students, highly merited students, why not we do that? So this private university, which is being now thought, should be able to achieve these desired goals. And I'm sure.
What kind of ambience do you think will encourage students and it may stop people from going out?
No, now the students are very smart. See, when board results are announced, you just take a statistics of the board results, especially in science stream, and 10th standard exactly. See, I've been very carefully going through these results at the 10th board, 12th board, and all those things. There are many students who score centum out of 100 out of 100, even in subjects like biology, chemistry, physics. Sometimes you don't find scoring 100 out of 100 in math, but they're scoring in economics, history, political science at 10th standard. So these 10th standard students who score 100 out of 100 in science and maths, for some reasons they drift to arts stream or commerce, and then they divorce from studying mathematics. Here is again science stream students, they're no different. So we want to have this intersection so that the math in them, the science in them helps them to build a career even in liberal arts, even if they study some classics in literature. So this semblance should be there in them so that they become better informed and so that they can do things better. When Chandrasekhar Subramaniam won Nobel Prize in Physics, when he was interviewed, he was just trying to tell what was the secret or how did you study and all. They said, I was very fond of reading classics. Now, how many students read Shakespeare, you tell me? They score 100 out of 100 in math. They score 100 out of 100 in science in board. How many students have the passion to study classics? That is missing. That is a vital factor that we need to connect and integrate things. And I hope the university should do this.
Thank you very much for this excellent conversation and giving a roadmap for new budding scientists in India.
Thank you, Raman. I also enjoyed talking to you.